Hello there folks, Martin Pavey here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to stand up for yourself, because every single day is a new opportunity to make your life better. What I have found, I do need to ask you, please do like, subscribe and share. What I found, the more I experience of people, is that everybody, well, most people are perfectly happy, okay, to make demands of you, to expect you just to bow down, to bend, to kneel to their, and very rarely is it a request, to bow down to their demands, to their orders, but nobody's actually willing to be the solution that they want. It's actually very, very rare. To the way that people behave, you can never know people's motivations, but the way that people behave, it always suggests to me, the vast majority of the time, that the way that they see the world is that it's always somebody else's fault. Now, I've had a huge amount of experience with this, that people just expect you to go along with it. And the truth is that most people probably do bend in a way where they completely subjugate their own needs. And I have done that. I really have. But I'm getting to a point now where all of these demands, they're never respectful. They're never the other party is never actually willing to discuss anything. And I have to say, it's very, very disheartening. And it does seem to be the norm that people are so entitled and expectant of you just doing whatever it is that they say, that when that doesn't happen, they behave in very, very unreasonable ways. And you can see, again, maybe it's guesswork on my part, I don't know, but you can see that there's no hope in hell of any kind of negotiation or compromise or discussion. It's all just barked orders. And there are some times, and it seems like this is becoming more and more common, that as people kind of mass form and just accept whatever, the news has told them, or television programs told them, or a politician has told them, oh no, that is absolutely 100% you're right, that people just blindly and unquestioningly accept things. They just do. And what I feel in a lot of people's behavior, that everything feels inverted, that people will tell you to do things when you're the one, paying the piper. It does seem that people have enormous ideas, and frequently have ideas above their station, and don't understand the way that things work. And I've experienced this so often. It seems to be something that we need as enlightened individuals, awake individuals, to actually say no. No is the most violent word to people. No is the most unacceptable word to ever utter. And people just expect that you won't question anything and that you'll just go along with whatever people say at you. I just don't see it that way. I think when people are unreasonable to you, it's really important to actually pause and stop and say, no, that's not right. That's not what's going on here. And I'm not going to take the knee. I'm not going to bow down to yaps and barked orders and things that aren't requests. People confuse an order and a request these days. They don't actually see the difference. And I think we live in incredibly entitled times where everything is somebody else's fault. And I just don't believe that. And I'm not going to stand for it. And most people avoid saying no because it can feel fantastically uncomfortable. But if you're going to be a sovereign individual and live by principle, it's absolutely necessary that, and in order to say no, you don't even have to say no. You just have to point out facts. People are afraid of facts. People don't like the truth because you always lose against the truth. And I think people instinctively know this. I think it's an innate thing in us to understand what actually is right and wrong. But people ignore that at their peril. But I would rather feel uncomfortable in refuting what people say and be principled rather than feel weak and pathetic, frankly. That's often with people, that is the choice that you have to make, because you can observe by people's behaviour that they're not interested in negotiating, they're not interested in listening to another side. It's entirely selfish. And I know that I've talked about being sovereign, not worrying about what people are thinking of you, all this kind of stuff. But when you are dealing in certain situations with other people, I'm afraid it is inevitable that there will be uncomfortable conversations to have. And we are avoidant, often as people. It's a lot of people will say that we move towards pleasure, but it's actually not. It's not true a lot of the time. That most people just move away from discomfort. We're avoidant rather than pursuant. It's a bit of a fancy way of saying that people just want you to agree with them because it would be simpler for them. But believe me, it won't be simpler for you when you don't have any confidence. And I think that is really the most important thing, is that you learn to stand up for yourself, to be strong, and to actually put your side of the argument across. Otherwise, I just believe we're living in a tyranny of other people's expectations and demands. And often, if you look at them seriously, the demands are not reasonable. They're really not. And I want to encourage you that it is okay for you to stand up for yourself. It is okay for you to observe things and make your own, come to your own conclusions, and to be the person that is comfortable in your life and respected in your life. Because otherwise, we're just victims, and I'm not going to live like that. I'm really not. And I don't expect you to either. You don't have to. It is your life, and you deserve to live it in a way where you are respected. That's, to me, respect actually, rather than comfort or wealth or any of these external things. I think the most important thing, especially to a man, is respect. I think that when people make no effort to respect you, you don't have to respect them back. You really don't. Because it has to be even. I'm not going to say equal, but it has to be even. If something is a rule, if people are expecting to be respected, then what they're saying is, okay, well, that's a rule of how you treat me. Okay, but a rule works both ways, and it's something that people also confuse. A rule and an order and a request, they're all very, very different things, and most people aren't willing to distinguish. But you can stand up for yourself and live your life. Thank you very much for listening. Martin Pavey here. Please do like and subscribe and share to spread this very important message. I really appreciate you watching. I appreciate all of the new and the old subscribers, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Ciao for now.